Vital Intellect presents Royal Jelly, Chapter 8, Spermatheca, Part 1. Athena mounts her floored opponent and punches her square in the face. The crowd lets out a collective, "Ooh!" in response. She pulls her fist back, then strikes her again. She looks down at her opponent as she holds her chin in place with her stub that was her left arm. Her opponent is barely conscious, and her left eye is nearly shut from swelling. Her left arm is pinned under one of Athena's knees, and her right arm struggles in vain to push Athena away. Athena reaches back again and buries her fist into her opponent's face. There are cheers mixed with moans of disgust from the crowd. Athena winds up for another blow, but the referee comes in between the combatants and stops the fight. Athena rises from her opponent, and the referee holds up her hand in victory. "Here's your winner, the capital's own, Athena." The announcer voice blares over the loudspeakers as the crowd erupts in cheer. Athena grins at the crowd, her eyes filled with delight. She then looks down at her defeated opponent. Blood is flowing from her lip, busted and swollen. Her left eye is now completely closed shut. A doctor enters the ring to check on her, along with her corner. Athena smirks and says, "Maybe getting fucked on your back isn't much better. Aye, Jessica?" Jessica moans and lays the back of her hand on her forehead. She rocks to the left as the doctor continues to tend to her. Athena turns to her corner. She holds out her arms, and several men run up to her, grinning. They hug her, kiss her, and one picks her up and holds her in the air. This was a big win in many ways. The purse is large, the win increases her ranking considerably, and she finally beats Jessica. Her cornerman puts her down. Athena looks out at the crowd again, still cheering and celebrating. She then looks up towards the catwalk of the building. She sees Tigress, the owner of the Underground League. She is staring down at her with a serious expression. She stares for a while, then walks out of sight. The exchange was off-putting, but Athena disregards it and turns back to her cornermen, celebrating. It has been nearly a year since Athena last fought Jessica. That embarrassing defeat led her to leave the league temporarily. After dropping out, Athena committed to a rigorous training program. But keeping up with her responsibilities at Lucille's and training so hard proved to be too challenging. She reluctantly went to Empress for help. He introduced her to a trainer at a premier gym local to the Underground Games. He paid for her training, but told her that room and board were her responsibility. Athena worked out a deal with her trainer that she would take care of the gym's upkeep in exchange for a place to sleep. He allowed her to set up a cot on the gym's office floor. She used her savings for her nutrition, and in about 6 months' time, Athena was ready to return to the league. She dominated from the start, seldom losing a game. This league primarily consists of one-on-one fights, but she also participated in obstacle courses, monster slaying, and racing. Despite missing an arm, Athena is a force to be reckoned with. She moved up the ranks fast, and after tonight, she is a premier fighter, meaning she will be paid much more per match now, expecting to pull in a crowd. She still lives at the gym, but they now provide her with a bed, converting a storage room into a bedroom, and her meals. The gym, thanks to Athena's notoriety, has grown and continues to grow. They allow her to keep 100% of her winnings as long as her reputation keeps bringing in new clients. After a night of celebrating her win, Athena wakes up with a bit of a hangover. She rises out of her bed and heads out to the gym floor. It's early, but the place is already filled with trainees, practicing drills and lightly sparring. As soon as everyone notices Athena, they all turn and begin to applaud. Athena looks down towards the floor, feigning embarrassment. She smiles softly at everyone, holding up her hand and saying, "You're too kind, you're too kind."
Hey, superstar! Athena's martial arts and striking coach, Coach Pena,
Greets her. He wears a large grin and approaches her with both his arms out. Athena smiles and embraces him. Mike is about Athena's height, has a shaven head, and is about her complexion. He's in his 50s, but has the physique of someone decades younger. "How you doing, Chica? You recovered okay from last night?" Athena chuckles. "Yeah, I should be asking you since I drunk you under the table." "Oh, never that," Miguel responds with a laugh. He then slaps her shoulder and says, "Go grab yourself some breakfast and sweat that shit out in the sauna." "Sounds good," Athena responds with a smile. A few days later, Athena meets with her trainers to plan when she'll participate in her next event, and which event it should be. Everyone agrees it should be another one-on-one match. They sign her up for a match happening in 3 weeks and plan out her training schedule. On the night of the match, Athena and her corner show up at the warehouse. The bleachers are packed as usual. They make their way to the sign-in table. The attendant at the table asks for her name, and Mike answers on Athena's behalf. After a moment's search, the attendant tells Mike that she is not on the card. Confused, everyone questions the attendant. He reiterates that she is not there. Mike insists that there must be a mistake. The attendant, recognizing Athena and her team, tells them to go to the back area and talk to the promoter, Jose. "Ramos?" Mike asks. "Yeah," the attendant confirms. Mike signals everyone to follow him. They all walk down a corridor and into the back area of the warehouse. People are rushing about, talking loudly and walking in every direction. Athena sees Jose standing near a wall, looking at his mobile device. Athena taps Mike and lets him know she's found him. Mike and the rest walk over to Jose. Mike greets him, and Jose gives him a cautious look. "What's up?" Jose says to Mike. Mike, put off by Jose's reaction, pauses for a moment and says, "Hey, Poppy, we have a fight tonight. We signed up 3 weeks ago, but we're not on the card." "Yeah?" Jose responds. He then puts his head down to check his mobile device to see if he can find Athena on tonight's card. After a moment, he looks up and tells everyone that she is not there. Athena interjects, saying that's impossible. Jose apologizes to her and says there's nothing he can do. Mike protests, but Jose says that the card is completely full. Her entire team begins to protest, and Jose finally throws his hands up, saying that they're tied on the matter and turns to walk away. Mike grabs Jose by the arm and tells him, "Hey, what the fuck is going on?" "I don't know, Mike," Jose responds. "This is bullshit, and you know it," Mike says to Jose. "Come on, what's going on?" "Hey," Jose begins. "Come on," Mike interrupts. Jose responds, "You're talking to the wrong person." Mike looks at Jose with confusion. Jose gives Mike a knowing look and says, "Know what I mean?" Mike lets go of Jose's arm. Jose begins to walk away again. Mike grabs Jose's arm again and pleads, "Come on, please." "Nothing I can do." "Jose." Jose snatches his arm back from Mike. "Nothing I can do." Jose puts both of his hands in the air, then walks away. Athena, angered, looks at Mike and asks, "What the fuck?" "I don't know," Mike answers. One of the other cornermen chimes in, "I've never seen some shit like this, not even here." "Makes no sense," another says. Athena looks at everyone, all with either confused or defeated expressions, and says, "What do we do?" Mike, looking away, responds, "I don't think there's anything we can do." "Damn," one of the cornermen says. Mike goes to Athena, puts both his hands on her shoulders, and tells her, "Don't worry, I'll talk to Tigress tomorrow, figure out what happened." Afterwards, everybody gets ready to go back to the gym, deciding not to stick around for the event. The next day, after training, Athena looks for Mike to find out what Tigress had to say. He's nowhere to be found. Night comes, and Athena decides to retire to her room. She goes on her mobile device and starts to look up posts and media about the underground league. There are rumblings about a newcomer that's proving to be an upstart, winning several games in a row. Athena looks at her picture. She's pretty, with an intense look in her eyes. She figures they'll cross paths one day. There's no mention of her or her absence from last night's event. She's a bit surprised since she did promote her fight. She checks on some news from the arena and other major games. The new season is kicking off. Criminal, now champion, is expected to be crowned again this year. It's obviously too early to speculate, but few show his vigor and passion for the games. There's some controversy about another popular game, the Hardcore League, being pulled from a popular network. Despite the game's popularity, the network decided to stop showing its events since the league does not reflect their values. Valid point, Athena thinks. But the Underground League is no worse than many of the dramas that network shows. Athena puts her device to the side, sighs to herself, and falls asleep. The next day, Athena is training but does not see Mike anywhere. In the afternoon, when she is supposed to train with him, there is someone else there instead of him. Athena asks the substitute where Mike is, and he shrugs his shoulders, then demands she line up with the other trainees. Towards that evening, she sees Chino, the head coach. He has his tablet in hand, going over the week's schedule. She walks up to him, and he greets her with a smile. Athena, bueno. Hey, Coach Chino. What's going on, Mommy? Have you seen Mike? Coach Mike? Yeah. Chino thinks to himself for a minute and answers, No, I haven't seen him all day. Everything okay? Athena then tells Chino all that transpired and how Mike was going to check with Tigress about it. Chino looks confused and disgusted at the same time. They took you off the card for no reason? He looks to the floor for a moment. I never seen anything like that. Tigress usually runs a tight ship. He reestablishes eye contact and asks, You said Jose was the promoter, Jose Ramos? Yeah, Athena answers. Chino scrunches his eyebrows as he thinks to himself. He looks back at Athena and tells her not to worry. Mike will probably be back tomorrow. He said there's probably not much that he can do about the fight card situation since it's been a couple of days, but to let him know if anything like that happens again, and he'll get involved. Athena nods her head and retires to her room. 2 weeks have passed. Athena has been training rigorously for her next event, an obstacle course race. Mike has not been at the gym since that night. Athena grew concerned, but no one else seemed worried. Since she's been training for a race, Mike wouldn't have been involved with her training, so Athena eventually forgets the situation and moved on. But that night, Mike returns to the gym. It's late and the gym is closed. Athena hears his keys jingling as he unlocks the front door. She comes out of her room to see Mike quietly closing the door back. Mike? Athena asks. She startles him and he turns around. She walks closer to him and notices he is sweating. Mike? You okay? Yeah. He turns away from Athena to lock the door back. What are you doing up so late? I heard the door opening. Athena steps in closer and puts her hand on his shoulder. He jumps and looks at Athena. He has a black eye. He's breathing hard and fear is written on his face. Athena, surprised by his appearance and demeanor, asks, What happened? Mike continues to look at Athena with his eyes wide open. He eventually lets out a sigh and looks to the ground. Where have you been? You've been gone for weeks. Mike looks back at Athena, then down to the ground again. He then says, Mommy, I wish I could tell you, but I can't. What? Athena questions. This is very out of character for Mike. He has been through something bad. He looks like he wanted to play things off but couldn't. He's never been able to lie to Athena, never had to. Athena put her other hand on his shoulder and tells him, "Hey, it's okay, you can tell me." "No, I really can't. Listen, I only came here to drop something off on Chino's desk. I'll see you tomorrow morning, okay?" "Mike!" Athena begins to protest. Mike puts up one of his hands to halt her. Athena tries to protest again. Mike asks her to trust him, that he cannot talk about what he is going through. Athena reluctantly backs off and Mike goes to Chino's office. Athena goes back to her room. She lays on her bed and stares at the ceiling for a while. What was going on with Mike? She's never seen him so scared. Does this have anything to do with that night in Tigress? It's so strange. She's not comfortable with this. She puts the situation out of her mind after a while, then dozes off. The next morning, she is doing some stretches with another trainee. Her name is Amaya, a woman in her 30s who also competes in the underground leagues. She and Athena are conversing while stretching. "You know Mike's back. I know you were asking for him a while back." "Yeah, I know. I was here when he came in last night," Athena responds. "Heard he's pretty beat up." Athena sighs and answers, "He had a black eye for sure. Looked pretty shaken up." "Yeah, rumor is he got into some shit with Tigress." "Tigress?" "Yeah, apparently, he stuck his nose where it didn't belong. I don't know much, but I know you don't fuck with that woman." This news fills in the gaps for Athena. It's what she suspected. She decides then she'll go down to the warehouse to confront Tigress. Later that night, Athena walks to the warehouse. She wears her hoodie sweater to protect her from the drizzling rain. The night air is crisp, but it's cold and wet enough to be uncomfortable. The streets are vacant, with a single vehicle passing by occasionally. The bass of loud music comes into earshot as she nears the warehouse. She can see the bright glow that surrounds the building as she approaches her turn. There is a buzz running through her as she approaches the building. People are standing outside, conversating, horseplaying, and vaping on electronic cigarettes. She walks past all, cloaked under hood, avoiding eye contact. She walks through the entrance. The bass from the loud music hits her in the chest. People are milling about in conversation, waiting for the night's event to start. She walks up to the admission desk and looks at the attendants. They wave her in, recognizing her. Athena figures Tigress will be on the top floor, in her office. She walks to the stairwell entrance, and a bouncer halts her. Athena looks at the bouncer, annoyed. She doesn't recognize him, and he does not recognize her. She plays it tough and tells him to move, attempting to push past him. He stops her again, assuring her that she is not passing him. He's large, well over 6 feet tall. He's not aggressive with her, but he is firm. Athena tells him that she is a feature fighter. That doesn't convince him to move out the way. Athena then says, "I have business with Tigress." "And what business is that?" the bouncer questions. "Ian!" a woman yells from upstairs. The bouncer, Ian, turns and looks up at the voice. Athena looks up as well and sees Tigress at the top of the steps. She is wearing a red tank top, the muscles in her defined arms evident. She wears a mohawk dyed deep red. She's a tall woman, standing about 5 feet 11 inches. Her red tank top is tucked into her black camouflaged pants. She wears black-colored military boots, her pants legs tucked into them. Her expression is serious, her eyes unflinching. After a pause, she tells Ian to let Athena upstairs. Ian complies and steps to the side, bowing his head. She begins walking up, and halfway, Tigress starts to address her. "Well, it is a pleasure to meet you," Tigress says with genuine enthusiasm. "The great Athena." As she makes it to the top of the steps, Tigress greets her with a firm handshake. She looks into her eyes with enthusiasm. "So, what took you so long to make it up here?" Tigress asks. "What do you mean?" Athena asks back. Tigress ushers Athena to walk into the room's interior, then says, "Usually, when a fighter of your caliber joins my league, they seek me out, looking to make friends or ask for favors or just have me clear the tab at the bar," she chuckles. "But you would have been one of the first I wanted to see. Come, sit." Athena looks around at the room. It is lined with red velvet, with a red velvet rug. The seats are also red velvet, with several armchairs, love seats, and one long couch lining the back wall. There is a bar along the adjacent wall. Mirrors are spread around as decorative items. Athena sits at one of the couches and Tigress on one next to it. She looks at Athena, smiles, and asks, "So, what can I do for you?" Athena looks around herself for a moment, then looks at Tigress, saying, "A few weeks ago, I signed up for an event, a one-on-one fight. When I showed up with my trainers, I was taken off the card and no one knew why." "Really?" Tigress responds, her expression turning serious. Athena searches her eyes, but her reaction seems genuine. Athena continues, "One of my trainers, Mike, said that he was going to come see you about it." After a pause, Tigress interjects, "Okay." "He disappeared for 2 weeks." Athena pauses again, allowing Tigress to react. Tigress squints her eyes at Athena, then asks, "What was your trainer's name?" Mike Pena." "Mike, on the shorter side?" "Yeah," Athena responds. "Bald head, usually wears a cut-off shirt?" Tigress asks, also describing him with hand gestures. "Sounds like him." Tigress responds, "Yeah, pretty sure he was here, just about 2 weeks ago. He caught me on my way out, so I didn't get a chance to speak to him really. He mentioned something about a mistake with one of his fighters, but I didn't get a chance to hear anything else." "I see," Athena responds, still studying Tigress's expression and body language, looking for anything suspicious. Tigress leans in, then asks, "Have you seen him since?" Athena responds, "He turned up about a night ago." "And what did he have to say about where he's been?" Athena hesitates for a moment, then answers, "He didn't or wouldn't. He was shaken up. He was hurt." Tigress leans back in her seat. "I see." Athena looks Tigress in her eyes and says, "I was hoping you might have some more information about what might have happened to him." Tigress shakes her head and shrugs her shoulders. "Sorry, like I said, I saw him for a second a couple of weeks ago, but that was the last time I saw him." "I see." Athena looks to the ground for a moment, not sure what to do next. "Sorry I couldn't be more help to you." Tigress then slaps both her knees and says, "But listen, there's something I wanted to discuss with you." Tigress gets up and heads to her bar. She starts to make a couple of drinks. She looks back at Athena while making the drinks and says, "I know you've been struggling for a while, but you still have rep. We can use that, you know? As a matter of fact, since you've been doing better these last couple of months, there's been a buzz that the great Athena, the one who kicked ass at the Abundance Day qualifier with Criminal, has been fighting here. Ticket sales have gone up too." Tigress walks over to Athena with drinks in hand. She hands one to Athena and says, "I think there's a partnership in our future." Athena looks at the drink and responds, "Thanks, but I should get going. I have errands to run." Tigress pulls back the drink and Athena gets up. "Thank you for seeing me." Tigress stares at Athena for a moment and says, "Not a problem." Athena smiles and nods at Tigress, then walks towards the stairwell. Before she heads downstairs, Tigress says to her, "I'm always here, if you want to talk more about what I said." Athena looks back at her and she continues, "Think about it." Athena nods again and heads down the stairs. She walks past Ian and leaves the warehouse. She stands out in front for a minute. She doesn't trust Tigress. She was far too welcoming, too excited to see her. If she truly felt so excited about Athena, Why didn't she introduce herself earlier? Because she was waiting for Athena to come to her? That doesn't smell right, she thinks to herself. She must return to Mike and get answers from him somehow, and she'll need to watch her back until she understands what's going on. Thank you for listening to Royal Jelly. Chapter 8, Spermatheca, Part 1. Tune in next time for Chapter 8, Part 2, available now.
In the dark, I held the line, stone.